Mm-hmm. So I'm watching this on History Channel. It's called Bible Secrets Revealed: The Promised Land. It's season one, episode two, and read by Robert R. Corgill or something like that. But anyway, he's the narrator here. But I guess right now what this is a bunch of religious folks getting together, right, and trying to determine if the Bible is true or not. And some of the problems is there's no evidence that Israel went through, you know, that part of the land, but they were traveling mainly with tents, right? Even the tabernacle is a huge tent, right, by the way. You know. Though there should be some evidence of the tabernacle, right, within the Temple of Solomon, but then the Temple of Herod was built on the Temple of Solomon, right, which was destroyed by the Babylonians, right. Though they tried to redo it until Herod, right, I mean, yeah, several times, right. Now, until they got to the land, though, they didn't even settle, right, technically speaking, right, until after Joshua got them into the land, right? So, see, if you're using tents, right, to live in, right, it's harder to map if you were there, right, than if you're trying to settle there, right, and actually, right, gonna stay, right, for 40 years, right? 3,500 years ago. Yeah, there would be very little evidence you even were there for a blip of the radar, right? Durr, durr. Well, see, that's the problem. You got three major religions, and yet there are discrepancies, right, between each religion, too, right? See, what I'm doing is I'm trying to study into all. I even got a copy of the Quran to read through that, but I know the problem with that is people think they're right. So if the Muslims think they're right, and the Christians think they're right, and the Jews think they're right, but they're all a little off, they're rocker, a little bit in certain areas. They got funny little things, like the Jews say you can't say their divine name, which doesn't make sense. Why would Moses even give it to you if he didn't want you to know it or say it right? That's kind of contrary to the point of giving you the YHWH to begin with. But is there a hint by Malachi of what that divine name could be? I will send to you Yahuwah and Moshe. No. Someone in their spirit, because they're done passed away, right? So John the Baptist is rumored to be Eliyahu or Eliah. Now, the only difference between Yahoo and the divine name is there's an extra H at the end, right? Uh-oh. Moshe is just MSHH. But so is Noah, right? In Olive, I guess, in an H or something, right? Now, I know it's spelled a little differently, probably in the actual text, but let's take Sarah. That her real name was Sarai with a Y, right? Or Suri, I don't know. You can probably say that, Tom. But anyway, I defer, right? It could be because you don't know the vowel points, right? See, the vowel points are A, E, I, O, and U, but you kind of get crazy with the Hebrew, right? they have more than one U sounding and more than one O sounding, and an E can sound like an A or an ah or an N, right? A mean, right? Depending on how you use the vowel point, right? Right. And again, right. There's different ways to say A, E, I, O, and U, right? So in the vowel points of the G's, there's more than one way to say it, right? So here's the point, though. Netanyahu, right, is the current name with the last form of Yahoo, right? Nathan means something, right, but so does Yahoo, right? So if you find that in a lot of Hebrew names, the last phrase Yahoo, right? All you have to do to feminize it is add an H, right? And it's Yahuwah. That makes the divine name Yahuwah. And Jews, God ain't saying you can't say it. Right. Some rabbi did. Who you're still listening to today. God ain't the author of confusion, is what the New Testament says, right? But the devil is what the devil is. Right. Armageddon is Harmageddo in the Hebrew. Harmageddo. Well, it's tied into them trying to rebuild the temple. And there it is. And within 7 years of trying to rebuild it all, right, the fear is Armageddon will happen. And, right, the so-called Antichrist will launch an offensive against Israel, right, to try and, right, stop it all, right. Though they might actually allow you to rebuild the temple. I don't know. That's the point, too, right? But we're living in what they consider to be the last day or the day of the Lord, which is as 1,000 years too. That's the problem, right? When someone says the day is as 1,000 years and 1,000 years is as the day, what does that mean? 1,000 years is as the day? Yeah, right. You're saying that you're covering it either way, right. So 2,000 years supposedly, right, since Jesus left, right, and went back into heaven until God makes his enemies his footstool, right? According to a passage in the Psalms, right? That's what's going on there, right? And that can even be some of the disciples, Peter. Denier, right? Half denier, at least, I know, by now. That some of you shall